Good morning. What's up, Shardays? What to do, my little shorties? Ran out of dog food, so the dog has been getting some gourmet meals. Should be getting that jasmine rice on the daily, at least until the new dog food comes through. I have some hypothesis as to how today's gonna look. Before we get into that, we got some new tea to try. Some winter wake-up tea, described as a spicy black tea blend with cinnamon and ginger. You know how I like ginger. Anywho, I think there's probably caffeine in this, which isn't a crazy deal because we're only off of coffee, but I'm curious to see the effects. I'll let you know if this tastes good, because are we still in winter? I guess we are. The groundhog has not shined, and don't even get me started on Groundhog's Day. My goodness, how is that a real thing? Let's circle back to that one. By circle back, I mean right freaking now. You're telling me a groundhog is dictating whether we move into a whole nother season or not? Us humans, this groundhog's supposed to pop out of the ground, and whether he sees a shadow or not is just like, yeah, farmers, keep at it. Or no, stick to winter. You could tell this is going to be spicy because it has a red tag. Teabag tag. Yo, so here's what today is shaping up to look like. I have my first meeting at 10, that's in 15 minutes. Then I have a sales call at 11 that should 100% be canceled. But yesterday I couldn't get into my CRM, so I couldn't see their application, and I didn't want to cancel it sight unseen, but I just have a feeling that it's not going to be a good fit. After that, I have another meeting at 2. This is with a lead gen guy who, as I showed you that presentation of sorts yesterday for the podcast studio itself, I'm going to be discussing with him how to craft some live events to get people in the door to check out the space. After that, I'm not going to go through the play-by-play. Anyway, in between all of those things, and then the few things that are after that, what I realized, or had a miniature epiphany moment yesterday, is that to monetize these things, I have to spend more time trying to monetize them. And that sounds very simple, but in layman's terms, I know I spend way more time in the post-production world of the podcast, editing things, editing content, editing the podcast, and it feels good because it feels like hard work. You know, it's hard work getting done. There's something tangible on the other side. But in reality, in order to have more success and to be able to scale more, I need to be getting more clients in the door, which is what I'm trying to do actively, but taking different strategies of even finding sponsors for the podcast, which I've never done before. I've kept it ad-free, sponsorless. And I think it's really just posing the question to people that I already know, saying, hey, is this an offer that is valid? Can you validate this offer? And then if so, would you like to buy it? And then on the flip side, hey, you know this podcast, you know the reach that it has. Are you interested in sponsoring it? To people that are already in my network. And then one layer on top of that, I still think there is room to niche further down with the podcast to find an even more honed in group of people. Right now, season 2 is primarily targeting entrepreneurs, but the language used to do that isn't super strong, at least from the podcast side. But maybe it's resonating with people and I just don't know it. They need to have a place to gather. I'm trying to figure out if it should take form like a Facebook group or a Discord or something like that, where we can all discuss, what we have going on in our entrepreneurship journeys, and where I can help provide some information and get people connected. I think that'd be really, really cool. I think that'd be super cool, actually. So just thinking through those things. So that's what's in store for today, some of those things. All right, first meeting down, it went great. I really like that guy. I don't know if I should say his name. I don't know how incognito these should be when I talk to other people, but conversation around podcasting can't beat it. But this tea, more importantly, delicious. It reminds me of Christmas. It's the cinnamony part. It's like sweet, cinnamony, that you do get a hint of that ginger. Everything it said it was. And then I threw a little bit of Pruvia in there, made it a little sweet, and it was just getting me fired up on a Tuesday morning. Look at that. They didn't show up to the call, so didn't even have to be the bad guy. Right now, I'm gonna craft some emails to validate some offers, and I'll show you what that looks like. Breakfast, same as yesterday. We got eggs, ham, some cheese, Greek yogurt, 2 hash browns. Delish. It's raining. LA's been nothing but rain this year. I have a run that I have to do today. I think it's between 4 or 5 miles. We'll see if that happens. Hot dog. Yo, I've been doing a lot of intros for people. Most of the time, it's people that have come on my podcast, and I think, wow, they'd be great to meet somebody else that was on my podcast. And then I'll just do an intro, just like, hey, you guys should be friends, or work on something. I don't really know what the proper way to structure those are, but I've been doing a lot of them recently, just thinking about people and how they could work together. Hey, this would be cool if you guys met. have fun. And I have no idea if these other people are perceiving it as valuable. I feel like it is. I feel like if somebody hit me up and was like, hey, this is a cool person that you need to know, just connect with them, I would do it. And I'd be like, that's great. Now I have this connection. And if the time ever arose, we could work on something, or I just know that I can reach out to them now because that warm intro is made. But I just keep doing it for these people and I have no idea. I'm not receiving any feedback of like, thanks, this is great. Sometimes I do. Like the people that actually get on calls when I introduce them, they're always stoked. They're like, thanks for introducing me to this person. But the ones that get stuck in the email exchange back and forth, I never really hear about them. I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I'm going to continue to do it just because I think it's nice. And I think building community in that way is a really good and powerful thing. But until somebody like says, stop sending me your friends, then maybe I'll stop. But those are just generic thoughts for you. Also, forget what your dentists say. Don't floss. This is from flossing. Just slice it in half. And I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about my dentist and I'm saying all those times that I thought I should do this, really I shouldn't have. Forget flossing. F flossing, the dance and the actual act. What's up? I know this has been a lot of sitting at the desk, but this is a good one. The last meeting I had was very fun. We're gonna throw a live event. We're throwing a rager. Parents are going out of town. No, I'm just kidding. But in April, the plan is to throw a live event, 421 for the podcast studio and just general networking mixer of sorts. Mixer and master of sorts. But it should be good because a bunch of entrepreneurs will show up. And then on Saturday, I'll do a workshop with the guy that I had on the meeting. His name's Matt. I'm sure you'll see more of him as time gets closer to the event. Fingers crossed, because this is about 6 weeks away. It's exciting. I've never done a live event, like thrown a networking event of sorts, but it should be really good because I feel like that's where connections happen in person. And the space we're going to be at is really cool. I just got to figure out what value I'm going to bring to the workshop the next day. And we're going to go from there. But how cool is that? We're throwing a live event. We're throwing a rager. If you want to be invited to this, if you want to attend, let me know. I'll put the landing page down below. I'm sure I'll have it by the time this is live. Fingers crossed. And if I don't, just comment something and then I'll reach out to you. Hopefully the landing page will be in the description by the time this is ready to go. It's very exciting. It's in Venice. So if you're in LA, it'll be fun. It's on a very cool street in Venice. That's it. That's that update. I think I'm going to have some soup and then I'm going to work out because it's raining. We can't run. And Poppy is so upset about it. She's sick to her stomach about it. We're going with the chili, 2 toasts, sparkling water, Greek yogurt, cheese. Chili's good for you, man. Stirs up everything in your belly and shoots it out on the other side. Hey, don't repeat that. I gotta tell you, it's delicious. This chili is the bomb. It is the bomb. I gotta tell you that right now. My belly is full of chili. Let's hit some legs. Sup? Right now I am turning off my windshield wipers. Right now I am heading to my friend John's. I met John at the entrepreneurship group, which is very interesting to think about. Like imagine if I just never went to that group, never got plugged in. But it's gonna be John and a few other folks from that group. Hopefully I can remember to film something there. Because last time I didn't. I left it stranded. I'll say this. I'll try to get you one clip. It might be a clip of food. It might be a clip of a person. But one clip. That's all I can promise you. Lamb. I got you your one clip. I did it. The lamb. I love hanging out with those guys. I did have a scoop of ice cream. This is the second time this year, and this is also at the same place with the same people. So are these good Christian men or are these just enablers? That's really what we're having to come down to. So I'm going to have to put a half mark in my habit tracker today for did I follow the diet, which is unfortunate. Luckily, it's been mainly ones most of the time. So the major takeaway is to get involved and hang out with people as quickly as possible if you move to a new location. It's the quickest way for places to start to feel like home. Okay, bye.